Hey guys, it's Nightheart here, and I am here with Mike, who has some awesome nerdy stuff to talk to us about. Mike, can you tell us about what you got here, man?
Yeah, so we have a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons supplement called Tavern Tales. It is a tavern designed to drop into any pre-existing campaign, whether pre-published or your own.
Okay. This is what I saw yesterday, and I was like, I got to come over and check this out. Yeah.
It's got 14 different adventures in it that are each attached to one of the patrons of the tavern.
Okay.
All the regulars have a quest that they can do at various levels. Introduce the tavern early, and you can bring your party there whenever you don't have time to write. You don't want to write for the night for your adventuring group. You can just pull this out and have an adventure ready to go.
Yeah, and it also seems like, some people don't like the trope of you meet in a tavern. I still think it's really fun, especially for a new group.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think the thing that we tried to sell with this is like, if you give the party a reason to come back, you will. One of the ways we tried to implement that is there's rules for player-run shops, so that the players can get some stakes in coming back to the location.
Okay. Awesome.
So that's one of the things, and I think there's a circus theme to the people that started the tavern that kind of has some really interesting characters that you can interact with, and the circus can even show up at some point in the book.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. That's awesome. And what else do you have here?
So right now we're also starting to work on a pirate-themed campaign where you will be able to, when you start down for your session 0, you will design a ship along with your characters that will be your sort of mobile base. This is an introductory adventure to lead into that. We'll be kickstarting that within the next couple of months.
Okay.
And you are sort of press-ganged into taking a ransom to a rival country, flying under a pirate banner through pirate waters to deliver a hoard of treasure to another government.
That's awesome.
That is not your own.
A lot of people are like, political intrigue, it's good, it's easy to do. I don't always agree with that, so it's really cool that you've got something pre-made. And these are for 5e, but I just want to point out, like, I think that's one of the reasons I stop here. I feel like these would fit into a lot of different settings.
Yeah, I think you could take the general tavern and the adventures, and if you are able to just quickly change the stat blocks to whatever system you're using, the themes you can easily adapt to any sort of fantasy adventure story.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, I think for those of us who GM and have been doing it for a long time too, like, I don't even feel like I need stat blocks a lot of times.
Right.
Like, I kind of get with the feel, and if you're doing more story
For sure.
Cool. And, well, I appreciate you taking the time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I always ask everybody, like, what's some of, we're all nerds. Obviously, you got into this from somewhere. What's some of your background? Like, what was, like, first game or whatever you want to tell?
Yeah, I think, so, interestingly enough, when I first started D&D, it was at the beginning of 5th edition, and it was my first tabletop role-playing game, and I finally just said, you know what, forget it, I'm just going to learn to DM, because I really want to play, and I had also just moved to Chicago from New York, and I used it as a way to keep in contact with my friends back home. I would DM to them, and we just did it with Skype, and I would DM, they would all get together at my cousin's house, and it was like a great way to keep contact with people that I was missing. It was a great way to keep contact with people that I was missing a lot, and still be able to like sit down and play games with them and interact with them until I really started to meet people here or in Chicago and start to like develop a new friend group. But that group has always persisted and like grew into wanting to create for Dungeons and Dragons and for other kinds of board games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool. Do you have anything else in that? How recently is Tavern Tales?
Tavern Tales just released the very end of last year. So this is like the first circuit that we're doing with conventions. The book was available in September of last year, and we've just started to sell it at conventions this cycle.
Cool. You got some more stuff in that brain of yours that you're thinking about putting down?
Yeah, we want to do additional taverns. So we want to eventually do a new tavern theme for each book that has the same sort of concept with a bunch of adventures, but the theme is completely different. You can set it somewhere else so that you'll have one that you could pull out for maybe you want like a more like devil-oriented setting or something like that. We've got some ideas for different taverns, and obviously we're starting to foray into board games and card games.
Yeah. That's really cool. What else is an ask? Yeah, we kind of talked a little bit yesterday, and we talked to everybody. Obviously, the OGL thing happened. I'm not going to ask you to comment on that or anything like that. But are you considering at least some more system agnostic type things?
Yeah, I feel like we're waiting to see what the landscape looks like, but I would like to do more system agnostic stuff. I think that.
And honestly, I think what you have is pretty. Like, I would throw this into anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, for sure. I mean, I think that when we design, that will be our intent to try to make it easy for people to use in other settings.
Yeah.
If we continue down the 5e road, which I think we will generally because it's just the most people play it. But if that changes, we will happily adapt to something else. I personally have a ton of different tabletop role-playing games that I like to play that are not D&D. I'm actually going to also start looking into doing some Shadow Dark modules. That system just came out recently.
Okay.
I'm going to try to start doing some small adventures for Shadow Dark that we'll put out through the company as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate again you taking the time to.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Looks like some awesome products.
Awesome. Thank you.